more than rather than 370,000 Rohingya, lot of them female and family, include fled to Bangladesh to flee abuse with August 25, on to the joint nations, an ordinary of nearly 20,000 a date. The refugees say of chaotic gap operative, huts set on flame and household members creature undertaken off and never heard of once again. ZHTAE, a representative for Myanmar's President Office Space, told the cause human beings neglected his homes was since lot were said to keep by household members who were implicated in bomber activities. By the government says 176 out of 471, or 37.4% of all Rohingya villages, are now blank of human beings, and in further 34 villages were partly neglected. Preliminary to the present wavelength of abuse, Myanmar's people of Rohingya was alleged to quantity on 1 millionth, in the most cluster in little frequently in isolation villages in the northern portion of Rakhine country on the boundary in Bangladesh and India. Myanmar's by the government maintains how the actions of its war are a required action to defend versus bomber activities in Rakhine country by Rohingya militants. Communities torn separately amongst the hundreds of thousands of Rohingya refugees filling through the boundary in Bangladesh, stories of assassination, rape and desolation are overall. Several include been injured by landmines. They blame Myanmar of landing on the boundary, time other outlined human beings, creature exhausted to die or burnt live. The joint nations told the meltdown has left word at low 1,000 human beings corpse. On environment, the flying of the Rohingya Muslim induced a uncommon reproach of the UN Safety Justice. In a declaration, at first the UN's largest strong flesh has done in 9 year on the position in Rakhine country, the 15-term justice recognized the original belligerent attacks on Myanmar safety forces but convicted the next abuse, and named 4 instant stairs to end the abuse in Rakhine. Over on environment, UN Registrar General Emitonio Guterres told the meltdown comprising the Rohingya in Myanmar's Rakhine country had been disastrous. Grievances how include been leftward to suppurate for many decades include now escalated for Myanmar's national borders, destabilizing the area, Guterres said reporters at the joint nations. Same human position, is disastrous. Guterres told lot female and family were inbound in Bangladesh starving and depleted. Accountable of attacks on civilian population by Myanmar safety forces are harassing and fully inappropriate, he told. U.S. envoy to the UN Nikki Haley tweeted her appreciation to Bangladesh for take in the flood of refugees. In a declaration by the government of Bangladesh told it was expansion the camping for the Rohingya refugees and was making all it could to assist, yet it is approaching its framework. Bangladesh promptly telephone call on by the government of Myanmar to immigrate the Rohingya during Bangladesh's national borders, and on the world society to blood pressure Myanmar to do as. U.S. intervene Vice Aid Registrar of Country Patrick Potato called Myanmar's envoy to the U.S., Ong Lin, environment to courier U.S. concerns on the abuse, consisting latter attacks on Rohingya villages, on to a elder country division formal, who named the communication shipped by the Goa Hard A. Bangladesh's circulation was supported by Guterres. I urge on the Myanmar authorities to halt war activity, end the abuse, maintain the guideline of law and identify the law of back of all such who had to keep the nation, Guterres told, who as well forced countries to ensure assistance. The Rohingya Muslim must be given ethnicity or, at law for currently, a legislative statute how allows them to conduct a regular lifetime, consisting liberty of motion and accessing to labor markets, formation and public health services, he added. Myanmar's in fact lead Aung San Suu Kyi, who over the 1 week cancelled a planned travel to the UN General Gathering, has been hard embattled for not talk out versus the abuse in Rakhine country. Suu Kyi has previous declared a enormous berg of disinformation on the Rohingya meltdown was creature allocated to gain terrorists. Is the present position in Rakhine country. We include bomber attacks and as well where our lot plant on social security and human plant, Representative ZHTA told in a declaration. or the other cause is we include acquired accountable how where are possibilities of bomber attacks in our nation. HTA after announced SUUKYI would offer a country of the association speaking following Tuesday in that she would address the Rohingya meltdown completely. The newest outburst of abuse in Rakhine country was sparked recent monthly by a episode of estimated attacks by Rohingya militants on by the government boundary posts. UN Human Rights head Zaid Ra'ad al-Hussein on Monday outlined which was event in Rakhine country as a tutorial sample of ethnical purifying.